Welcome to the second episode of Smart News. I'm Daryl Roberts, Director of Organizing at SMART. Today's episode will cover the importance of organizing new members into our union. We will also look at the impact of pro-worker elected officials who act to create jobs for SMART members. First, an update on the tentative National Rail Agreement. The SMART Transportation Division's process for ratification differs from the Mechanical Division in several ways, including a formal Q&A process, which concluded in late October. Those agreed upon Q&As are now a part of the final tentative agreement. Ballots have been prepared, and in late October, they were mailed to all eligible SMART TD members at the addresses that they keep on file with their union. As required by the governing provisions of the SMART Constitution, voting and tabulation is being conducted by an independent third party. Results of the ratification vote will be available later in November, following the close of the 21-day voting period. SMART TD President Jeremy Ferguson will announce those results as soon as they are available. He will give instructions to members regarding implementation of the tentative agreement if it is ratified. If it is not ratified, he will provide next steps during an additional cooling off period, which will be extended to December 8th. The 2022 election is just days away, and it is more important than ever that we elect candidates who stand with us, our jobs, and our families. Let's hear from General President Sellers, who describes what's at stake.
Thanks, Daryl. Just a few years ago, we were fighting against the tax on apprenticeships, two-person crew, and taxes on our pension funds and retirees and our healthcare plans. We are still feeling the long-term effects of a tax on women's rights and human rights. In just 21 months, we have seen legislation and government action that directly benefits each of us and our families. That's because we work with the Senate, House, and White House. We need to continue this pro-worker agenda and support those who support us, like candidate Tim Ryan, John Fetterman, Raphael Warnock, Catherine Cortez Mastos, and Mark Kelly. We have a proposed two-person crew rule to secure the safety and job security of railroaders. IRAPs, industry-recognized apprenticeship programs, are now gone. We have retirement security in the American Rescue Plan. We have jobs, with investments in transportation and sheet metal industries in the bipartisan infrastructure law and the CHIPS and Science Act. Both laws have strong labor standards that would create thousands of jobs for SMART members. Project labor agreements on federal projects that cost more than $35 million. Provisions to lower healthcare costs for our families and retirees in the Inflation Reduction Act. We all know that elections have consequences, and we have an administration and Congress that hear our voice and want good union middle-class jobs. Brothers and sisters, we can't go back on defense. Let's keep moving forward and vote to secure our future. Thank you, and be safe.
The amount of new work coming online for SMART locals will require us to grow if we want to maintain our strong collective bargaining. That means we need to keep bringing our non-union brothers and sisters into SMART. So together, we can expand our power to bargain collectively. We spoke with Marvin Tavares, SMART Local 28 business representative, about how organizing new members into SMART benefits all of us.
Right before I got organized, I had eviction notices everywhere I lived. I didn't have any medical benefits. I had subpar wages. My wife at the time was pregnant with my daughter. It seemed like every day was a cloudy day. Organizing members is extremely crucial for SMART. The more members we organize, the more companies we organize, the more capabilities we have to go after the market share that we've lost. Some members don't view it that way. They say, oh, we're bringing people in and they're going to take my job. I totally see that as false. Certain people on Facebook would say anybody organized is nothing but a card buyer. The only way that unions thrive and move forward is when we organize members. That's the way we organize, and we're able to create more market share. They're workers. We're all workers at the end of the day. And the only way that we're going to really build real worker power is by organizing the unorganized. And that's how our members could help, is by influencing them, embracing them, and teaching them right from wrong, and showing them that the union is the only way to go in order for them to feed their family and, elevate themselves and change their lives. And the only way they're going to do it is with us, the union.
We will need to organize and recruit new members to take on new and ongoing mega projects across the country. Let's hear from Jeff Hunley, Local 24 business rep, about the work coming to Ohio.
Work in Central Ohio has been really good over the last 2.5 years. Currently have a large hospital being built in Central Ohio. It's a $2 billion project. We still have 3+ years left on that project. And then here in the last year, we've had a large microchip manufacturer announce a $20 billion investment in the area. And with the CHIPS Act being passed, that could grow to closer to $100 billion investment over the next 15 to 20 years. And it's a really game-changing investment here in the market, and is going to put a lot of members to work. Probably talking somewhere in the range of over 500 sheet metal workers on that project. And then just here in the last couple of weeks, we actually just this last Wednesday, they announced publicly that Honda and LG are going to make a $4 billion investment over in a county connected to Franklin County here, Central Ohio. And that should put a whole bunch of other sheet metal workers to work as well.
Our union's new access with the administration was clear in early October when Local 49 business manager Isaiah Zemke visited the White House. He discussed how SMART members are helping build their local communities.
This gives the Biden administration real-time feedback from the constituency of SMART Local 49. It gives the White House a much better idea into the issues that affect union families across New Mexico. And it's not like some poll they ran or a questionnaire they did via mail or a phone call conversation. They had these concerns that were brought to them before them from SMART members. We've increased total membership by 22% just in the past 2 years since Biden's come in. And I think that's a direct reflect to the strong labor standards and the legislation with indoor air quality. Also some other state legislature that was passed here to increase working hours for our local project opportunities for our contractors and increase future hours for our membership. One of our members' biggest concerns was working throughout the year. And since Biden has come in, our members are working 40 hours a week, 52 weeks a year, tons of overtime. This isn't something we've seen with past administrations, and having access to the White House to express our views and concerns about union families and how they're affected.
To grow our union, we need to create work environments that are welcoming to all. And SMART is dedicated to doing so with the Belonging and Excellence for All effort, also known as Be for All. Local 73 organizer Jeff Hillary recently spoke with us about the purpose and importance of the Be for All project.
It means that there could be an opportunity for people not to experience so much hardship that, I experienced some. It wasn't 100%, I experienced it every day, but I did. It's been a great privilege to be in the trade now, I believe 41 years. I started out in the shop and served my apprenticeship, did all different facets of the trade there. And I journeyed out. I was able to work out in the field. I've done welding, layout, service work, small commercial and residential. I ended up being TAP certified, TAP supervisor, and fire life safety. There were people that made me feel uncomfortable as I came to work. We want to try to change that narrative because you have more people getting involved. They have been for decades, younger people, people of color. We're trying to get more women. It means a lot to me that, hopefully I can be a part of sharing these ideas that could be brought to the the industry that will help the future people that's coming in.
Workers at 360 Sheet Metal in Vancouver, Washington, voted to join Smart Local 16 in 2021. But 360 refused to bargain, choosing instead to retaliate against employees. Workers at 360 have been on strike since July, protesting unfair labor practices. For more, we spoke with Brian Noble, Local 16 business manager.
360 Sheet Metal, they are a fab shop only. So they are fabricating HVAC ductwork for schools and other buildings and sell to a lot of non-union sheet metal companies installing HVAC systems. The workers at 360 Sheet Metal decided to form a union because of poor working conditions and poor pay. Basically, he was paying workers just above minimum wage, very little benefits, and not treating them well. It was a really tight, and still is, a really tight-knit group of guys in that shop. They had nothing to lose. They could leave there and go make more money working at Starbucks. The owner came in with a union buster, hired one to come in, but the workers already had all the answers, and they were asking the union buster all kinds of questions like, how much is Joe Martin paying you? Where are you from? What's your name? And he wouldn't answer any of their questions. So it just kind of showed everybody, you can't trust this guy because he's not even giving you any answers. We held an election in May of 2021, and the unit was certified in June of 2021. Started bargaining in August of 2021. The employer just really isn't bargaining in good faith. He's repeatedly told workers over and over that he will never sign a contract with Local 16. The workers want to be treated fairly, not discriminated against for their union activity. They want the employer to bargain in good faith, because what they really want is they want to be able to go to work under a union contract.
Every member of SMART stands in solidarity with the striking workers at 360 Sheet Metal. We will continue to support them as they hold the line against unfair treatment. Throughout this episode, we have covered the many ways that SMART workers have been put into action over the last 2 years, from organizing to new work opportunities. But as we know, there are anti-worker politicians and corporate special interests who want to stop our progress. With that in mind, there are 2 things we can all do to help secure our future. First, if you haven't already, please leave a comment in support of the FRA's proposed 2-person crew rule. Text 2PC to 67336 for more information. And second, make sure to vote on November 8th for candidates who have acted on our behalf. Officials like Josh Shapiro, John Fetterman, Mandela Barnes, Laura Kelly, Tim Walls, Tim Ryan, and others have walked the picket lines, voted for pro-worker policies, and sided with SMART members with their actions, not just with empty promises. With allies in government, we can continue to secure the future for our jobs, our families, and our union. Thank you. Solidarity forever.